guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you what's on my iPad. I'm also going to be showing you how I take notes, or basically just how I use it the most. So yeah, I'm not going to go into detail into a lot of the apps because I did go into detail on them on my what's on my iPhone video, which I think I posted a couple months ago. So I'm mainly going to focus on the apps that I use a lot with my iPad. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is what my lock screen wallpaper is. I get all of my wallpapers from Pinterest, or I make them myself on Canva, but this one is from Pinterest, and it's kind of just to keep me motivated with all the hard studying that I'm doing. And then this is what my iPad looks like when you open it. So I basically just have 4 folders with all of my apps in them. I don't really do the widget stuff on my iPad because I use it very practically for school work. I don't ever use it to play games or stuff. Like at night I'll use it to watch my shows and stuff when I don't have my big iMac obviously on my bed, but that's basically all I use it for, is for work and school. So that's why it's not super aesthetic, that way I'm not getting distracted. But my wallpaper once again is from Pinterest, and it's basically the bows with all the different colors from Taylor Swift's eras. Let's get on to some apps that I have. So in here I have the school folder. There's nothing super interesting, I barely use this, but I have a few, I have Illustrator and Lightroom, which I used to use before a lot for my old degree that I was doing, which was social media marketing. However, I did switch degrees, so obviously I'm going to hopefully get into med school, so I don't really use these as much, but they are pretty helpful from time to time for work. And then I have the regular school apps. So Canva, I have Moodle, which is basically like Canvas but for Canadian universities. And then I have the Pearson apps, which is where I have a lot of my textbooks. And then I have my socials folder. So I have Procreate, which I also use either for thumbnails or just random stuff really. Instagram and TikTok I don't really use on my iPad, but sometimes I need to get links for videos or screenshots for thumbnails, so they are pretty useful to have on there. And sometimes I'll also use my iPad as my second screen when I'm not working at home. Spotify I also don't really use very often on here, but I still have it just in case. Then I have YouTube Studio, Fonto, which is the app that I use to add my titles and text onto my thumbnails. And then I have Visco, which I really don't use anymore, and Messenger and Pinterest. I do use Pinterest quite a lot on my iPad. Then I have this fun folder, which basically has entertainment apps. So I have Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube, Prime Video, Kindle, which I do have some books on there but not a lot of them. These are basically just all streaming services. And then I have my organization folder, which I have GoodNotes, Notion, all of the Google Drive, Gmail, all that stuff is on here. These other 2 apps, which are Handy and iPhone, I use to download new fonts onto my iPad. And then at the bottom here I have Calendar, Safari, Photos, and Notes. But I honestly just mainly use GoodNotes, Notion, Pinterest, and Fonto. Those are the main 4 apps that I'll use on there. So I'm going to show you guys how I use these. I'm not going to show you guys how I use Pinterest though, because I don't think you need a tutorial on that, but Fonto is really self-explanatory. This is a thumbnail that I did for a video that was posted a couple weeks ago, I think, and basically I do the base of it on Canva. All of this text and the emojis are stuff that I add on here. So yeah, that's really all I use this for. And then for Notion, I have a full Notion tour on my channel, so you guys can go check that out. Now we're getting on to GoodNotes, which I have basically pretty much everything. So here is what you see when you open GoodNotes. I have this random folder, which literally has the most random stuff. I also have the socials folder. I don't really use much anymore, but I do use it once in a while for thumbnails. For example, for this one I added an arrow, which I just drew on there. But the 2 main things that I use GoodNotes for are to-do lists. So let me show you how I make to-do lists. So I just click this plus icon right here and do quick note. Let me change the template to to-dos template, which looks like this, and then I'll usually create one document for the whole week. So for example, let's say November 2nd to November 9th. Let's say this was this week's to-do list. So I take, when I do my titles for my to-do list or even my notes, I like to use the bigger thickness of it. And so let's say I was doing my to-do list for tomorrow. So I write the day like this, and then I take the black and I go to the medium pen thickness and I just write cursive over it like this. And then I use this little lasso tool tool, center it, and then basically you just kind of do your to-do list. I like to use a different color than the one for my title, and I also really like this tool right here because it helps you to see the whole page as you're writing on it, but still be close enough so that your writing looks good. So let's say tomorrow I had to edit this video and then do some notes for psychology, and then I would just like keep writing all the tasks that I had to do. And then if it's not too big of a day and I don't really have a lot to do, I'll just leave it like that and cross them off as I get them done. But if it is a hectic day, there is this little icon here of a clock, and I can kind of estimate how much something's gonna take me. So I know editing this video, since there's not too much footage, it's not gonna be too complicated. It's gonna take maybe like 3 hours, let's say. So I like to write this in here, and that way I can manage my time a lot better. But that is basically how I do my to-do list. And then for school, these are all of my classes that I've either completed, or if they have the little sparkle emoji next to them, then I'm currently doing them. But I'm going to show you how my notes usually look. So these are my notes for my Anatomy 1 class. I basically just do the titles the same way that I did them for my to-do list, and then for important words I'll either highlight it or use a different color with my pen, which I kind of like better because it takes a longer time to switch the color and then write it, so it kind of forces you to remember it almost. And then what I really like about this is that you can add little like sticker, and I bought these biology and anatomy stickers on Etsy, I think. You can basically just add whatever stickers on here, and I have a lot of them for different systems, and even for I think my cellular biology class I had a few of them as well. It's super detailed and it's easy to just add in, and then I just took my own pen and then pointed out and wrote whatever that part was. But that is pretty much everything I use my iPad for. I'll also use it in class when we're going through PowerPoints, and this is what me filling out PowerPoints as the teacher's talking looks like, and then from there I'll just do my actual cleaned up notes. So yeah, that is everything that I have on my iPad. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below any videos you guys want to see or any other productive ways you guys use your iPad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.